The wind is blowing directly in from center field on a beautiful, yet hot, steamy, humid day here at Teurlings Catholic High alongside Scott Brazda. I'm Kavan Bordelon. This is the Uncle T's Oyster Bar pregame show for another live broadcast of Teurlings Catholic High School baseball. The Rebels are still within sight of their goals for this season, although some of those goals may not necessarily be the way they would like to get there. The Rebels did have a 3-game series in town for the district championship. One game, one of the series couldn't quite finish out, games 2 and game 3. But Scott, the Rebels are playing some good baseball, took a nice road trip, maybe get away, and now they come back, and they're going to be tested here this afternoon as the Central High School Wildcats out of Zachary, they say Baton Rouge, but technically Zachary, Louisiana, it might even be technically Pride, roll into town on what was probably just a relatively long bus ride and probably hot and warm to get here.
Yes. So it's, the Rebels were in Houston or in Texas over the weekend and had an extended run and played a couple really good games, getting some road trip experience, getting some extended play experience, winning one of those ball games in 9 innings. Going back, a week and a half ago for the district championship series with STM, Brooks Battle will tell you those are games they should have won, or they could have won. Now, again, you're playing St. Thomas More, who will probably say the same thing. But, you score 9 runs, you score 8 runs, you score 8 runs, and you only win one of those games.
It's a difficult dynamic, especially when you think about the type of baseball the Rebels play, which means it's going to be heavily predicated on your defensive ability in the field and then try and manufacture runs. When you manufacture 8+ runs on average for a 3-game series, to your point, that's certainly a series you expect to see the Rebels come out with a win.
Yeah, and I'm a silver lining guy. I'll look at it and say, man, you scored 8 runs. You scored 8 runs. You scored, then first game, 9 runs against St. Thomas More. You can do this. You clean up just a couple things. You can do this. I feel the same way, in basketball, I'm a big Celtics fan, and you go, man, they only lost to the Thunder by 6, and Jaylen Brown didn't play. And so you go, man, if he had played. So I think the Rebels know all this stuff, and you said so eloquently in the beginning, all this stuff, defending a title is within their grasp. It's those little things, and that's part of the penalty for being such a good program, those little things now. Being a team that's always in the conversation, then up a notch being a team that's always in sulfur, and then being a team that always wins the state title. There's the game of inches syndrome. To your point, I think it's a scenario that we see quite commonly in baseball, and I actually think there are a lot of parallels potentially between a team in Baton Rouge right now and a team here in Lafayette. The LSU Tigers with a target on their back as they have won 2 of the last 3 national championships. To come out this year with a ton of expectations on that baseball team, and the reality is they're not performing at the level which was expected. Part of that is because, as a good buddy of ours would put it, in Baton Rouge it might just be a medicine year. For everything that went right last year, the law of averages catches up and goes wrong this year. For this Teurlings team, I think it's maybe some of what LSU does see, which is this. Every team that comes in has you on their bulletin board, and it says back-to-back state champs. Everybody knows it, so no one slacks on you at all throughout the season. In football, it's like you say, well, for this team, every time they play you, it's their Super Bowl. In this case, every time they play you, it's a World Series. Because, Teurlings is the standard right now. Teurlings is a standard right now. We're going to see a little bit different of a lineup here today, Scott. So, when we take a look at what our lineups are going to look like, a little changes in our McDonald's lineups. Do you want to go ahead and do the starting lineup for the Teurlings Rebels? Yeah, let's do it. Let's see if I can read my own handwriting. Chavis, there you go. It's all in print on a computer. Chavis, of course, will lead things off in center field. You got Will Power, the shortstop, batting second. Deculus down to third in left field. Well, we've seen Deculus at the top of the lineup and at the bottom of the lineup. Brennan Storms going back cleanup. Clavel comes in with the DH spot. He's in the 5th position. Evan Vincent drops down to the 6th spot in right field. Gonzalez, who usually we've seen in the cleanup position, he's at 7. He plays first base. John Aaron Swallow will be your catcher, and Jackson Bro manning second base.
That'll bring Nick Brown to the hill for the Teurlings Rebels. Scott, when you look at this lineup, and you made a comment that I think is very poignant here, which is we've seen Deculus at the bottom of the lineup. We've seen Deculus at the top of the lineup. Now we see Deculus hitting third. Do you almost get the feeling that Teurlings head coach Brooks Batto maybe hasn't quite gotten the lineup set as to where he would like it to get him some continuity?
Yeah, except for Chavis and Power. We've seen guys all over the place. I mean, we've seen Vincent from third to sixth now. Gonzalez dropping 3 spots. The injury to Dean, brought Swallow into play a little bit more, and he's done a nice job of managing the catchers. And you're trying to find. It's also maybe going with the hot hand. You're about to start playoffs. You're a week away, week and a half away from the playoffs, and going with the hot hand.
Hard to believe that, yes, we are at the end of our 5-game regular season series here with the Teurlings Catholic baseball team, and we are 1 game into April that we will call. This is, if you look at the actual schedule for the Rebels, their April schedule, they basically had the series 1 game with St. Thomas More on April 1st, went to Houston for the weekend through the Easter break, and then came back this week and get to play today, right? So when you think about what the Teurlings Rebels have done schedule-wise and kind of where we are in the season, the high school season progresses so much more quickly than, obviously, college. So, man, we are deep into it, and the Rebels need to get that continuity in order to be set for the playoffs.
Yeah. This year's been weird because they've changed things up, scheduling-wise all across the area, where it's not so much a home-and-home against Como or a home-and-home against Westgate. It's 1 game. And so there's been a lot more playing teams out of other districts, maybe teams out of other classes, which I think is really good for Teurlings. You want to go in having played some of the better programs, and Brooks Battle's not afraid of any program.
I was about to say,
coming up next week.
I was about to say, if you look at which in college would be the RPI, their strength of schedule at the high school level, their power rating, and you look at some of the teams that the Rebels have played, I mean, you start going back and look that they opened up their 2nd game was against Acadiana, Benton, South Terrebonne, Tioga.
Look, Notre Dame's always good. Erath has a good program. We've played Rain. There's a bunch of guys that have been floating around in there that Live Oak, that was a great series. St. Louis.
I was about to say that a rematch of a couple of years ago in Sulphur with St. Louis coming here to Teurlings Catholic High. You get a lot of quality ball clubs in here. So while the record maybe doesn't reflect what I think Teurlings fans are accustomed to, well, we lost 5 games last season. I mean, let's really think about that. To this year have maybe not the record that you want, it's not necessarily indicative of the level that you play. I heard a coach say something that I loved a conversation about, and it was this. The conversation was this, that you can play a really good game and still not win.
Yeah.
You can have a good game and not come out as the victor. So I think we maybe have seen some of that where the Rebels played decent baseball but didn't get the outcome on the scoreboard that they were looking for.
Well, look, you play St. Thomas More now 4 times. You're 1-3 against them, but 3 of them 1-run games, and the other one was a 1-run game until the top of the 7th. The one here that you and I did. So, talk about being battle-tested.
We're getting ready for our Louisiana Veteran Connection National Anthem here at Teurlings Catholic High. Coaches are meeting at home plate as they get ready to discuss everything, and Coach Botto just kind of threw his hands up in the air about something. Now, Brooks is known for being somewhat animated, Scott. It'd be interesting to see kind of what that discussion, I'd love to be a fly sitting on home plate listening to this conversation to see who's where and what's going on down there at home plate.
The Brooks camera, the Brooks mic. That's what we need to get sponsored, right? And build a mic just into home plate or something like that.
Yep. We're going to take a quick break here on the Uncle T's Oyster Bar pregame show here at Teurlings Catholic High. Your Rebels, Central High School out of Baton Rouge Wildcats. Uncle T's pregame show continues here on Teurlings Catholic Baseball right after this.
At Oxnard Lafayette General, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving. Our team of experts delivers specialized, coordinated care through a nationally renowned orthopedic and sports medicine program, providing the most advanced equipment and modern facilities, and covering you from the field to fast forward your healing. Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Long live you.
Uncle T's Oyster Bar in Scott is your destination for Acadiana's best local seafood.
Enjoy our delicious specialties, including raw and charbroiled oysters, bald crawfish, small bites, salads, po' boys, and a variety of seafood baskets.
We feature happy hour specials every day from 2 to 6 with half off domestic draft and bottled beer.
And you can't leave without a serving of Mom and Nat's delicious bread pudding.
Uncle T's across the railroad tracks in Scott.
Serving Gulf oysters just the way you like them.
Teurlings Catholic Baseball brought to you by Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. Getting ready to start. We'll have our Louisiana Veteran Connection National Anthem in just a second. Alongside Scott Brazda, I am Kevon Bordelon. And Scott, I want to take a brief second to say something here because this is our 5th game of the series that we are doing here on the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network. We don't get to call out the people who don't get heard and don't get seen enough because they're the ones that really make this happen. Right? So full-service content, Aaron David and his crew are just absolutely fantastic on making all this happen. So if you love those beautiful visuals that you see from here at Teurlings Catholic High, he's the man.
He has definitely made our maiden voyage into video extremely smooth.
Yep. Name is Aaron, just so you know, if you call him, he goes by Richard. He will greatly appreciate you giving him a call. And yeah, he is the guy. So here we go. Getting ready for our Louisiana Veteran Connection National Anthem. But first, starting lineups again, Scott, as they are going to send them out to the first and third baseline, respectively. If you're the Teurlings Rebels, what are you looking to do here early in this game with an arm that, Scott, you and I are yet to see on the hill here this afternoon as we get Nick Brown on the mound?
You want to attack, and you want to attack early. You know, for Brown, you want to come in and you want to make a statement right away. Give them things to think about. Keep them on edge from the get-go, so that for the next 6 innings, they're on edge plus.
Brown will be on the staff. Sergeant Richard Poole, pitcher's mound presented by Diamond G Farms right here in Lafayette. And Scott, offensively for the Rebels, the bats, you're not going to hit balls out of the park consistently in high school, much less with this team. This team still does not have a ton of home runs on the season. However, they can and will, as we have seen, they can score runs. So I'll give you a quick synopsis of our last few games so people can know exactly the type of offensive prowess the Rebels can come away with. They scored 4 and 1 last Saturday on the 11th. They scored 7 the Friday before. 6th finished in a tie on that Thursday. On April 1st, they lost 9-8, lost 9-8 on the 31st of March, and won 9-6. So if you think about the amount of runs that the Rebels have scored in their last several games, it's been 9, 8, 8, 6, 7, and 4. Not bad run production.
No, so you're looking about 7 runs a game. And, you know, we saw it the last couple games. We saw it with STM. We saw it with St. Louis. You know, the bats have really started to heat up. A team that is big on, since they don't hit home runs, a team is big on creating. And, you know, Brooks has never been shy. And the deal is, even if, what I love about Brooks is, even if an aggressive move doesn't work, doesn't mean he's not going to try it again.
It's one of those things as a coach, I think you have to remain true to your principles, even if you get into a situation. So we referenced the similarities between this team and the team in Baton Rouge, LSU. LSU has run themselves out of more innings being aggressive on the base paths this year than I think I can count in any recent year. The Rebels are still going to move on the base paths. They're going to put pressure on a team defensively to make sure that they make the plays, because that's how you force errors, and forced errors, that results in lots of runs. And that is what the Rebels will look to do here against Central High School out of Baton Rouge. Technically Zachary. Here is your Louisiana Veteran Connection National Anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now ask that you respectfully rise and remove your caps for our Catholic invocation and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem, sponsored by Energy Transfer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, as the opening pitch draws near, we turn to you, the ultimate umpire of fairness and the guardian of safety. We earnestly implore you to watch over all players on this field. Please guide us in playing this game with the utmost fairness and integrity, for in the end, it is not just victory that matters, but how we compete. May our actions on the diamond be a reflection of your love, grace, and justice. We entrust our every action to you, O Lord, as we engage in this honorable contest. Lady of Victory, pray for us. Father Teurlings, rest in peace. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Gentlemen, let's play baseball.
National anthem is in the books as we get set to wrap up the Uncle T's Oyster Bar pregame show here on Teurlings Catholic Sports Network. We'll give it a couple more seconds of conversation before we get ready for our first pitch, Mr. Brazda. So the Rebels with Brown on the Staff Sergeant Richard Poole pitcher's mound to open things up. Obviously want to pound the strike zone. Crafty left-hander. Talk about the difficulties that a left-hander in high school can bring, even at the college level, to really any baseball game.
Oh, yeah, because it's a different vantage point. And we're always talking about, our buddy Kent Mason was always trying to get his son Bryant to throw the ball left-handed. Bryant's a righty. And because a left-hander, you don't have to throw it as fast. You're so valuable. And just the approach on batters. I mean, you've guys coming in, and they're so used to seeing one other thing and one other angle and one other release point. So a left-hander who can locate, location, huge.
Going to be interesting to see how he opens up here. He'll obviously be looking for multiple Summit Financial strikeouts in this ball game, as the Rebels would like to collect another win here on another beautiful, warm, humid afternoon, Scott, with the wind, again, just blowing straight in from dead center.
Well, we've had that about, through all of our games. Now, Brown's got some nice numbers. I mean, he's seen a lot of work. He's 19 innings pitched. He's 2-2, 17 Ks, 11 walks, a 3.32 ERA, giving up 14 hits over those 19 innings. So, he pitches to contact. He's got a great defense behind him, though, and I'm sure Brooks Batto says, get in your positions or get in your spots and let your guys do all the work.
So for Central, it will be 1-2-3. That will be Aaron Keller, the second baseman, Cooper Austin, the shortstop, and Braylon Hartzog, the left fielder, to see the plate in this inning. Brown comes set, winds, and delivers. That's going to be in for a strike. Pretty pitch.
And, the importance of getting Brown some work, too. I mean, you get into the tournament. You need arms. You need arms you can rely on, who can come in and give you a full game or at least 3 or 4 innings.
The 0-1 is going to miss just a bit high, maybe inside. Make it 1-1.
That ball coming across the right corner of the plate and then tailing into the batter.
That one's high. Make it 2-1.
Boy, that was a good one. His 2 misses aren't that far off.
No, he's very close on the zone here early, but it's 2 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff man for Central. That breaking ball is going to find the zone, even the count at 2-2. And Scott, it looked like that one was going to start just in the opposing side
batter's box.
Box. Yeah, the box drop batter's box, and man, just broke through the zone. Here comes the 2-2. Same breaking ball, didn't break quite as much, brings the count full to the leadoff man here in the top of the first inning.
You got the Rebel fans out there in, well, right and left field.
That's going to be outside. It's a leadoff walk to get things going here in the top of the first inning for Central as Keller makes his way towards first. And Cooper Austin, the Wildcats shortstop, steps in. He will also hit from the right side.
Number 24, Cooper Austin.
Again, my glass half full mode, he didn't miss by much on any of those 4 balls.
I would say that the last pitch was maybe the worst one. The second and third I thought were real tight and could have been called strikes as well. Brown checks the runner. That is going to be high. Make it 1-0. Scott, it's interesting that Brown didn't use a windup at all for the leadoff batter. He just pitches straight from the stretch.
Yeah.
But now with a runner on, he's really got no choice. Runner goes. That's going to be inside. There will be no throw. They're going to say it hit him. Send him down to first. Oh, check that. No, they say he went around and it didn't hit him. Okay, so evens the count at 1-1.
Boy, and that was close.
Yeah.
I would have bought either one.
I was about to say, that's why from up here, where we're almost directly behind home plate, it looked like he had gotten hit by pitch. So now the runner on second, breaking ball, does not come back across the zone, make it 2-1.
You know, a good thing about playing a Central, or about going to Houston, is you're playing foreign competition, which you may encounter in that state tournament.
Keller has a nice lead at second. Power really not doing much to hold him to the bag. Now inches closer to the runner. Brown will step back and walk him back to the bag. Power now a little tighter on the runner at second. Brown checks things. Now he'll come home. That's going to be in for a strike. Beautiful pitch to make it 2-2.
I love watching Power as he creeps closer and closer to the runner. And that gives the runner something to think about, too. All right, are they going to try to, double me up, or...
Brown comes home, and that's going to hit him, and that's going to put runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the first. So we have 2 free bases, a walk and then a hit by pitch to open things up here from Brown.
Well, through 19 innings, that's the 4th batter he's hit. So he's not foreign to that working of control, and now Brooks wants to have a talk.
Yeah, but this will just be, I think, one of those to try and calm him down. I think a lot of pitchers, Scott, run into a little bit of a quandary. We've seen it happen at the collegiate level where you get a couple of pitches that maybe should have been called strikes, and it starts getting into the pitcher's head. And now the pitcher's working between his ears instead of working between the pitcher's mound and home plate.
Look, I love the gesture, and I can almost read Brooks's, because I've heard him say this. He pointed at Storms, he pointed at Power, and he worked the infield, and you could almost say, let these guys take care of stuff. Get it to them, get pitch to contact. These guys will get the job done.
So that'll send Braylon Hartsock, the left fielder, to the plate for Central. Nobody out, runners on first and second. Brown delivers, and that's going to be just outside, make it 1-0. And Central getting a little tricky, looking like they were going to show the drag bunt almost, Scott. Try to advance the runners, a little small ball of their own.
Well, you're playing in a foreign place. I mean, anything you can do to take the fans out.
That one's tipped, held onto behind the plate to even the count at 1-1.
Rebel students back in class today. I know one young man who wasn't all that thrilled about it.
First day back after Easter break. As Brown delivers, that's fouled off, make it 1-2. For the first time this afternoon, it appears that Brown is ahead of a batter. This could be the type of at-bat that gets him back on track,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
A Wildcat left fielder settles in. That's going to be outside, even the count at 2-2. Scott, that's a tough pitch for a hitter to lay off of on an 0-2 count. Just a little high, just a little outside. It's sometimes appetizing. Credit Hartzog with not offering at that and coming up with the first out of the inning. That's a swing and a miss, and that is the first strikeout of the inning. A Summit Financial strikeout for the Teurlings Rebels, and put one away here in the top of the first.
18 strikeouts in just over 19 innings.
Umpire said he tipped it, but that'll send Wiles to the plate. First baseman Brady Wiles going to be the first lefty at the plate inside the box drop batter's box here at Teurlings Catholic High this afternoon, and that's in for a strike.
Brown has a nice, easygoing delivery, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. The beauty of that strikeout, Scott, is it throws the double play potentially back into play.
Yeah.
That's fouled off, make it 0-2.
You know, this batter and the one before, you know, with Herzog, pitching to contact, throwing it down the middle of the zone.
Brown is up 0-2. One away here in the top of the first. Runners at first and second. Power now backs to deep short. That's going to be swung at, hit towards first base. They'll just take one. The smart play at first base by Gonzalez. He thought about trying to get the double play, Scott, but the Rebels just weren't quite there. Runners advance, but the sacrifice means there's two outs here in the top of the first.
And, you know, Gonzalez had enough time to size it up, and it was a good, smart play. It was a good no-throw, and then, well, let's get that sure out.
That'll bring the right fielder, Lane Billings, to the plate, hitting fifth for Central. Runners now in scoring position, second and third. That pitch just a little outside to the right-hander, make it 1-0.
And those last two batters, I mean, definitely confidence builders. You get a strikeout, you get an easy-going ground ball.
That's going to be hit towards right field. Vincent drifting to his left, makes the catch. Easy peasy can of corn, and the Rebels retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, one strikeout, and we head to the bottom of the first inning here at Teurlings Catholic. 0-0 ball game. Your Rebels, Central Wildcats on the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Tired of overpaying for mattresses? Stop! Box Drop Lafayette can save you 50 to 80% off big box prices. Brands include Sealy, Serta Simmons, and more. Twins start at $89, fulls at $120, queens from $128, kings from $198. Plus, adjustable bases, sofas, sectionals, and more. All factory direct. Huge savings, better sleep. 3221 Highway 90 East in Broussard, 5 miles south of the airport, or boxdroplafayette.com. Call 337-780-7076. Don't pay retail. We even have easy payment plans. Sleep better, save bigger. Box Drop Lafayette. Proudly from Pocheville, Louisiana, Diamond G Farms may no longer be running full operations, but our heart for this community beats stronger than ever. Honored to memorialize the pitching mound at Teurlings Catholic High School baseball, now officially named in memory of brave Staff Sergeant Richard Poole. To the Rebels, players, coaches, and fans, keep throwing strikes, swinging for the fences, and honoring those who served. Diamond G Farms, supporting faith, family, and future champions. Go Rebels!
Caden Chavis, Will Power, Carter Deculus due at the plate here in the bottom of the first inning alongside Scott Brazda. I'm Kavan Bordelon. This is Teurlings Catholic Sports Network here on YouTube. Part of a 5-game series. Got our final game in the regular season for the Teurlings Rebels. Postseason is TBD for streaming, but we'll see where that goes. It's been a ton of fun calling these games, and it's been some really good games that we've gotten to see.
Well, and we've gotten to see it, so we'll go back to our original point at the beginning of our pregame. Aaron and company have just made it. You hate to curse it. It certainly could go south from the bottom of the first inning on, but we're like 4 for 4, and that's because of Aaron and his team.
It's all right. I just knocked on wood, Scott. I tapped myself on the head a couple of times. Caden Chavis steps into the plate from the left side inside of the box drop batter's box. And he shows bunt, pulls it back, takes strike one on the outside corner. Rebel center fielder has had a monster season. The wind, as you can hear it, continues to roll. That's on the outside black for 0-2.
Chavis hitting .455, 35 hits, 33 of those singles.
He'll now go into defend the plate mode with an 0-2 count. Hits that one towards short. Not fielded cleanly. Chavis is going to beat it, and the Rebels have a runner on to lead things off here in the first.
I mean, it's almost a given. The minute there's a bobble, you can assign Chavis to first base.
Scott, I don't even know that you need the bobble. I think Chavis's speed from the left side is just added pressure to every infielder on the opposing team because you know that you don't have the extra step with Chavis and his ability to run. That'll bring Will Power to the plate. Power shows bunt, bounces it down. It's fair ball. They'll throw to first, and it's in time, but it advances the runner, which is the intent of the bunt. And the Rebels have a runner in scoring position, one out here in the bottom of the first inning.
That may not have been the bunt you wanted, but the result is what you got. And actually, it's not a bad bunt to advance a runner, right?
No. The odds of being safe at first are not great on that bunt, but the odds of advancing the runner are almost 100%. You got that awkward bounce, and I think Power thought that it might have gone off the plate. So that'll send Deculus to the plate now, and that pitch is going to be outside for ball one to Deculus. Deculus, the first right-handed hitter that Dozat will face on the hill from Central. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 away. Chavis is the runner at second for the Rebels here in the bottom of the first inning. That pitch is on the outside black, even the count at 1-1.
While Chavis's average has dropped from the mid-5s to the mid-4s, Deculus has risen by 100 since we last saw him. He's now hitting .368. He was in the upper 2s last time, 3 weeks ago.
That pitch is going to be hit into very shallow left center. The shortstop drifts back. Austin is able to make the catch, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the first.
Now at the plate for the Rebels, number 19, Brennan Storms.
That'll send the Rebels' third baseman, Brennan Storms, to the plate, hitting in the cleanup spot. Dozat an efficient first inning so far. That's going to be on the outside corner for strike one. That's a pretty pitch from a right-hander. Nice location for the Central Wildcat pitcher. Storm settles in for the 0-1. That's going to be a little too far outside and even the count.
Storm's hitting .276, 11 ribbies.
Storm, Scott, seems to be that guy that just when you need the ball in the gap, when you need a single, just somehow seems to come up with it in the games that we've called.
I think on both sides, on defense too, when you need a guy to make that play that nobody else can make defensively.
Timeout from the box drop batter's box, so Storms will step out. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Here in the bottom of the first, 0-0 ball game. Rebels would love to get a deep little base hit enough to get Chavis home. That pitch is high and outside. Make it 2-1.
And Storms with a good eye. Come on, he's walked 19 times.
That's going to be outside, make it 3-1, and that's the first time that we'll see a hitter's count here this afternoon for the Rebels in the box.
You know, and that was a good holdup too, because that pitch started on the inside of that of the home plate.
Dozet's got a little run towards the left-handed batter's box on that fastball. That's going to be a base hit into the gap, and that's going to score a run. Chavis is on his way from third as Storms rounds first. He will go back, and the Rebels have a 1-0 lead off of timely hitting, Scott, from Brennan Storms.
Nice left center gapper.
At the plate now, you
Sounded like a hit, too.
Hudson Clavel.
Rebel designated hitter Clavel will now step in from the left side. Storms on first. Rebels have plated a run as the throw back to first is not in time. To credit Storms, his lead looks like it could be measured on a class ruler in elementary school. That pitch is going to be high and outside, make it 1-0.
Clavel hitting .272. Tied for second on the team with RBI. He's got 18.
Around he goes, and that evens the count at 1-1. Clavel would love to, I think, have that back, Scott. Either that or have actually take a real hack at it instead of the abbreviated swing that was taken. 1-1 pitch is outside, make it 2-1.
As we said about 3 weeks ago, I keep waiting for Clavel to have a breakout.
Dozat comes set. That's going to be hit towards the gap, and that's going to send the runner to second. They will hold Storms there. That's a nice throw from shallow right field,
throw.
Scott, and a beautiful call at third base to keep Brennan Storms at second.
Now coming to the plate for the Teurlings Rebels, number 26.
Yeah, good holdup by Brooks Batto. I mean, you know, you want to be aggressive, but you've got to respect that arm for the rest of the game now, too.
And there are some golden rules in baseball. I believe one of them is never the first or the third out at third base. That'll bring the Rebels right fielder Evan Vincent to the plate. That pitch is going to be on the outside black for strike one.
Vincent's average at .318, leads the team in RBI with 24. And he's added a home run since we saw him. So the Rebels now have 3 as a team.
Dozat checks the runner. That's going to be across the plate for a strike. I thought it was going to come in low from up here.
So
the angle must be a little different. That brings the count to 0-2. 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Rebels with a little 2-out magic. Got the 2-out RBI from Storms, then followed by a single from Clavel. Vincent now battling to try and get the runner in scoring position to home plate. That pitch is just a bit outside. Make it 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think he was hoping for a break that he didn't get.
That pitch is in the opposing batter's box, evens the count at 2-2. Dozat trying to get Vincent to go fishing, and Vincent, to his credit, has had a good eye on the last couple of pitches.
You know, Vincent always has. He's tied for the team in lead in walks as well, 21.
Vincent asks for time and gets it from the home plate ump as Dozat was working not quite as quickly as a lot of Rebel pitchers like to work. The tempo just a little bit different for him on the hill. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 run in here in the inning. The Rebels have 2 hits. Fouled off, staying alive is Evan Vincent. That's another pitch. And Scott, we had gotten to a point where, you know, the first couple of outs came very, very quickly for Dozat. Now here we are, 3 hitters later, and a 2-2 count. Starting to see that pitch count for the first inning elevate for him just a little bit, just like it did for Brown for the Rebels.
And things can change on a dime as we've seen the Rebels start to hit the ball with some authority.
There's the throw back to second, not in time. Again, Scott worried significantly about Storms at second. Vincent hitting from the left side, where the second baseman is playing with their attempt to hold him on, Scott. They are now putting him back in traditional spacing for second base, but leaving an awful lot of room. That pitch gets just a little bit away. As my favorite hero would say, just a bit outside. Just a bit outside.
Thank you, Mr. Euchre.
That one got away from Dozat, and I mean, it's hot, it's humid out there. That can happen with a baseball as the runners now advance to second and third. If Vincent can put a single in play here, it might not score 1, it might score 2. That pitch is outside. That's a 6-pitch walk, and the Rebels have the bases loaded here in the bottom of the first with 2 out. As Mason Gonzalez steps to the plate, the 7-hole hitter, the Rebel first baseman. Scott, that's an absolutely beautiful at-bat from Evan Vincent. He started 0-2 and then worked the walk with 1 foul in order to keep himself alive.
And they kept working him. I mean, all of those balls were outside. They kept working him, hoping he would go fishing. But the discipline by Evan Vincent, I mean, just came to be, and now he's got 22 walks and he takes the team lead.
And offensively for the Rebels, you've got to love what that does to the mindset of a pitcher. Because if you're on the hill, Dozat was probably in a place where he's thinking, all right, I'm on my way to cruising out of the first inning and things being relatively easy. That's a far cry from 3 batters later, having a run in, having the bases now loaded with 2 out, and you're going, what do I have to do here in order to get out of this inning? And on top of that, you lost control. You've got the wild pitch on 1 pitch that advanced the runners, which really hasn't helped or hurt here at all at this point. But now you've got to settle down in between the ears, and as we talked about, you've got to worry about what's between your ears as well as between you and home plate. Gonzalez swings and fouls this one out of play, make it 0-1.
All right, so it worked when I said we were waiting for Clavel to have a breakout. I've been waiting for Gonzalez to have a breakout as well.
Well, Scott, the one thing I've been waiting for is Gonzalez is one of the 3 on the team that has a home run, would be to put 1 out. I am yet to see the Rebels hit a grand slam. That's a grounder towards third, fielded and stepping on the bag, get him out of the inning. So the Rebels get 1 run on 2 hits, 3 men left on, 1 error by Central, and we head to the top of the second inning. Rebels lead it 1-0 here on the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Walking in and seeing all the people at the Aspen Clinic makes it so much easier to just get started.
Coming here and having a real person makes the difference.
The accountability is a big thing because it gets you to your goals quicker.
The Aspen Clinic offers more than just GLP-1s. Because you deserve more than just a prescription.
They would never give me anything that would harm me, and they only want the best for me.
No contracts, no membership fees, just real in-person support.
Don't wait, call the Aspen Clinic today.
In the heart of Lafayette, something strong is growing. We believe in creating opportunity right here, so our young professionals don't have to leave Louisiana to build their future. At Beal & Aber, we're proud to stand up for the people of Acadiana. When you need strong legal representation, whether you're injured in a car wreck, have a construction dispute, you are dealing with a civil matter, or you just need help with estate planning, we're here when it matters most. Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown lawyers.
Teurlings Rebels lead at 1-0 over the Central Wildcats out of Baton Rouge. Alongside Scott Brasda, I'm Kavan Bordelon. This is Teurlings Rebels Baseball, brought to you by Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. Always, Scott, nice to have people who will support local high school athletics, support their school, people like Lance and Kenny Hebert.
Yeah, Lance gets it. He understands that, Teurlings helped lay a foundation with him. And, he continues to get back. And, he's helped us out in multiple sports and helped the school out in multiple ways. Helped the community out tons of ways.
6-7-8 here for Central in the second. First pitch from Brown is going to be outside. It's Houston Miley at the plate, third baseman for Central.
That was a nice pitch. No.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it was a pretty pitch. He's going to call it high, so it makes it 2-0. But it's another one of those pitches, Scott, that we've seen called strikes at the high school level consistently. That one's outside, make it 3-0. Now, Scott, Brown is a sophomore or junior?
That's a good question. Let's throw that out to the team. Brown is a sophomore or junior, Scott? He's a junior.
A 4-pitch walk from Brown to lead things off here in the second inning. And, Scott, that's 2 innings in a row that Brown has given a free pass to the first man at home plate.
And, he finished that first inning in such a zone. I mean, he finished so strong on those last 3 batters. Let's see if he can get the mojo back right here against Payne.
That'll send Drayden Payne, the catcher for Central, to the plate. Squares to bunt and takes ball 1.
Well, I'll continue to say Brown is not missing by much.
No, Scott, he's not. Squares to bunt again. This one's high.
That was high. So 6 straight balls.
Square to bunt again. This one also elevated, and Brown having trouble finding the zone here to start the second.
That's good discipline by Payne, too, because a couple of those pitches have been very tempting, at least to me.
That one's going to be in for a strike and make it 3-1. That's going to be outside, ball 4. That's 2 free passes to start the inning. Scott, very similar to the top of the first when Brown issued 2 free passes. Those were walks and a hit batsman.
Number 17, Reese Tillman.
So that'll send center fielder Reese Tillman to the plate for Central. Nobody out, runners on first and second.
We have a lot of activity here. We have a softball game next door. We have track practice right next to that.
Breaking ball doesn't break for Brown, and that leads him off at 1 ball, no strikes.
Good grab by Swallow across the body.
Squaring to bunt is Tillman. Pulls it back, but takes strike 1 anyway.
Outside corner.
And Scott, at this point, you know that Central is doing everything they can just to get between the ears of Brown, squaring to bunt. Tillman shows bunt again. Gonzalez comes in from first. That's going to be popped up. What a play! Gets to the one at first and the out at second base, and the Rebels double him up. A beautiful play by Brennan Storms to make the catch, throw the runner at second out, who obviously did not tag, and the Rebels have 2 out just like that.
At the plate now,
we told you we count on Storms to pull out something really extravagant. That was a good one.
That one needs to be an ESPN top 10 for the night. That's a beautiful defensive play from third base.
Well, just to have the presence of mind to the minute you pop up, know that there are other guys out there, and let's make that throw and see if we can't get a second guy.
Designated hitter Peyton Walls now to the plate from the left side with 2 out here in the top of the second. Brown's a little inside to the left-hander.
Boy, defense can be the equalizer, can it? Or be such the equalizer.
Runner goes. No throw. But that pitch is in for a strike. Make it 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 away here in the top of the second. Brown throws behind him. That ball gets away from Swallow, and the runner advances to third. Scott, that ball just simply got away from Brown. Looked at almost exactly the mirror image of what happened to Dozat in the bottom of the first.
Yep. I mean, that one right behind the batter. You know, Brown just said, hey, you just need to get this guy. Just this guy.
Nice stop behind the plate by Swallow for the Rebels. Kind of a lost art of catchers putting their body in front of pitches. Seems at the college level they like to pick their chin up and try and play bullfighter back there.
Ole.
3 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Brown delivers, and that's in for a strike. Brings the count full. Pretty pitches. I don't think Walls was necessarily on it. I think he was fooled by that pitch, Scott. That's going to be hit towards second. Fielded cleanly. The throw across the infield is in time, and the Rebels retire the Central Wildcats. Jackson Bro to Gonzalez on that 3rd out. No runs, no hits, no errors as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Rebels winning 1-0 over Central.
At Oxnard Lafayette General, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving. Our team of experts delivers specialized, coordinated care through a nationally renowned orthopedic and sports medicine program, providing the most advanced equipment and modern facilities, and covering you from the field to fast forward your healing. Oxnard Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Long live you.
Uncle T's Oyster Bar in Scott is your destination for Acadiana's best local seafood.
Enjoy our delicious specialties, including raw and charbroiled oysters, bald crawfish, small bites, salads, po' boys, and a variety of seafood baskets.
We feature happy hour specials every day from 2 to 6 with half off domestic draft and bottled beer.
And you can't leave without a serving of Mom and Nat's delicious bread pudding.
Uncle T's across the railroad tracks in Scott.
Serving Gulf oysters just the way you like them.
Teurlings Rebels lead it 1-0 over Central High School out of Baton Rouge alongside Scott Brasda. I'm Kevon Bordelon. Headed to the bottom of the 2nd inning. This is Teurlings Rebels baseball presented by Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. It will be 8-9-1 here in this inning. That's Swallow, Bro, Chavis for the Rebels.
And Swallow has done a really nice job the first couple innings, reaching high, blocking low balls.
Squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Dozat delivers. That's going to be inside, even the count at 1-1.
Yeah, I think about your comment about so many of the guys out there. You see a lot of catchers just kind of do the Olay thing. It makes me think of the Corbin Burnson character in Major League. Played third base, and it took him a while before they made him just start taking balls across the chest.
That pitch in for a strike, make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Scott, when I played baseball, I did actually play catcher for a couple of years. And that's foul tipped, and that is a strikeout. So the first batter of the inning is retired. But Scott, to your point, you know, I remember the drills that you actually saw the drill in Major League where they'd put a catcher in his stance and they'd just throw there and throw him in the dirt at him as hard as they could to get him to put his chin down, keep his chin down so he doesn't get hit in the throat, all those things. Yet you see a lot of catchers, that first pitch is going to be high for ball one. You see a lot of catchers who have a bad chin habit behind the plate. The ball comes in and they try to stick their head up because it's the reaction. Eventually, a ball will come off the dirt and go underneath that mask.
Yep.
That ball's in for a strike after Bro is showing bunt. Evens the count at 1-1. Misses that one, make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rebels trying to go a little small ball here in the second, Scott, but credit Dozat pumping strikes here early in the second inning. That'll be fouled off and out of play. Keeping himself alive at the plate is Jackson Bro.
Jackson Bro hitting .260, got 12 hits. Like to make it 13 right about here.
That pitch is going to be outside, even the count at 2-2. That pitch is outside as well. Bring the count full. Bro battling back. Tried to bunt a couple of times. Couldn't quite make it work, and now he's got a full count. That pitch is going to be low, and the Rebels get a free pass as well. Runner goes to first base with only 1 out here in the second. And, Scott, that is the way that Brooks Batto baseball gets started offensively.
Number 10, Caden Chavis.
Caden Chavis reached on an error to lead things off in the top of the first. He'll now step back to the plate. His last at-bat was a grounder to shortstop. Couldn't be handled cleanly, and he was safe. A hit and run. Chavis is trying to get to first. He won't make it, but he will advance the runner. So the Rebels have a runner in scoring position with 2 out here in the bottom of the second, and Will Power coming to the plate.
You know, and Chavis loves to bounce it high off the grass or off the turf. And, you know, you can see how close he got even on that one.
Now, Will Power sacrificed a sacrifice bunt his first at bat. That pitch is high and outside.
And again, want to give props to Jackson Bro. Way to fight back on that last at bat.
That pitch is outside again. And Scott, I just can't help but think the humidity is playing a little bit of havoc with pitchers on the hill because, man, it's, for lack of a better term, it's warm and it's a little moist out there today.
I don't know if we're hot yet, but boy, it's sure putting the capital W on warm.
2 balls, no strikes, and that's going to be in for the first strike of this at bat for Will Power. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Rebels did all of their damage in the first inning with 2 outs. When I say all of it, that would be 1 run. Dozat will come home. That's going to be outside as it breaks, but doesn't break into the zone. Make it 3-1. A hitter's count for the Rebel shortstop.
Now the central shortstop, Austin, doing a lot like Power was doing. Sneaking behind the runner.
That one's foul tip. Scott, that was the pitch Power wanted, just couldn't quite barrel it up.
Sure had a big cut on it.
So a full count to the Rebel senior. He settles into the box drop batter's box. That's going to be hit towards second. Backhand fielded is clean, and the throw to first in time, and that retires the side. The Rebels get no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 man left on. We go to the top of the third inning. Rebels with a 1-0 lead over Central and the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Tired of overpaying for mattresses? Stop! Box Drop Lafayette can save you 50 to 80% off big box prices. Brands include Sealy, Serta Simmons, and more. Twins start at $89, fulls at $120, queens from $128, kings from $198. Plus, adjustable bases, sofas, sectionals, and more. All factory direct. Huge savings, better sleep. 3221 Highway 90 East in Broussard, 5 miles south of the airport, or boxdroplafayette.com. Call 337-780-7076. Don't pay retail. We even have easy payment plans. Sleep better, save bigger. Box Drop Lafayette. Proudly from Pocheville, Louisiana, Diamond G Farms may no longer be running full operations, but our heart for this community beats stronger than ever. Honored to memorialize the pitching mound at Teurlings Catholic High School baseball, now officially named in memory of brave Staff Sergeant Richard Poole. To the Rebels, players, coaches, and fans, keep throwing strikes, swinging for the fences, and honoring those who served. Diamond G Farms, supporting faith, family, and future champions. Go Rebels!
And the countless stories and memories we've created over the years.
Welcome back to Teurlings Rebels Baseball, brought to you by Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. And Scott, I was not aware of this. I am hearing the PA announcement that is being made right now. This is the end of an era at Teurlings Catholic High School, because when you bring up the name Ricky Landry, everyone knows Ricky.
Well, I mean, I grew up a street behind Ricky. I was on Choctaw Road. Ricky was on Attakapaw. We played baseball in Ricky's backyard. Graduated with my brother Mike in '74 here. Ricky Landry's always been here. Yeah, he announced he was retiring a couple months ago. And, yeah, I did not realize that this was his final regular season home game. But, Ricky Landry, we see in football, he's always the first guy out there.
Regardless of what player or what team the player is injured for, yeah. So it's 1-2-3. That's Keller, Austin, Hartzog here in the top of the third. It's a 2-0 count already for the right-hander. He walked his last at bat, and he's out to a 3-0 count already.
You know, this is a pattern. I mean, Brown has done this with each batter as we started an inning.
That's going to be high and outside, and that sends, again, for the third time in 3 innings, the leadoff man to first base on a free pass.
Maybe he's the guy that has to be in trouble, although he has had a couple good defensive plays.
And that, Scott, looks like we are going to see a Lemoyne Company pitching change for the Teurlings Rebels. That'll be Derek Boudreau, who comes out to the Staff Sergeant Richard Poole pitcher's mound for the Teurlings Rebels. That is presented by Diamond G Farms. Boudreau steps onto the hill, and a little bit different of a physical figure, Scott. Brown, a little bit of maybe a Leith figure, that wiry frame. Boudreau a little bit bigger. And obviously throwing from a different side, Boudreau throwing from the right side.
Now, I don't have anything on Boudreau in terms of a pitcher. I mean, I see him listed among the pitchers, but there's a whole string of zeros there.
Scott, this is a great opportunity for somebody like Boudreau to come in and for Brooks Batto to see situationally how a player will react to certain things. And, you know, baseball coaches are famous for being able to do this. It's one of the nice things you can do about baseball, or do with baseball, in that you can have a situation that might seem critical, but over the course of 9 innings and 27 outs, now all of a sudden you go, well, maybe it's not that big a deal right here. I want to see how the player reacts so that I can play chess with this and not checkers, and know that when we get to the playoffs, maybe Boudreau is our guy.
Yeah, you know, you've got this game. You've got, I think, Barb next week, and you're running out of regular season games, and it's a matter of trying to get guys ready, because, you know, we've hit that tournament where, you know, the Rebels have thrown in a couple games 3 and 4 pitchers out there, and you're going to need those bodies. And, you know, Brooks Batto sees something and sees tons of potential. He's a good-sized kid.
Well, and Scott, let's face it. You know you've got 3 or 4 pitchers that are in that rotation that are absolute dead-on starts no matter what, right? You know, you're like Vincent,
then you have Lincoln
right?
Guillory
You've got
right out of the
Guillory. I
bullpen.
mean,
Yep.
you've got guys like that you just know. So it's always good to find out what you might have developing in the bullpen. Cooper Austin to the plate. The right-hander takes ball one outside to start off this at-bat. Last time up, Austin was hit by a pitch and reached base. Boudreau settles in. Checks the runner. Now he'll come home. That's fouled off. Hit and run was on. Pitch location, Scott, was almost exactly where you want it. Outside third of the plate. Made him reach for it just a bit in order to even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the top of the third. That pitch is outside, make it 2-1.
Yeah, the good thing for a young pitcher is you're coming in there and you've got a bunch of guys behind you that this isn't their first rodeo. You know, they're used to playing defense. They will rarely make a mistake. You know, they're all saying, we're here for you. Just get it in play.
Boudreau's throw to first, not in time. Austin now settles back in. That pitch is low and outside, make it 2-1.
All right, I've got some Derek Boudreau numbers right after this.
That pitch is outside black, make it 2-2.
Derek Boudreau, 9 2/3 innings, is 1-1.
Check that. Count is 3-2.
15 strikeouts, 11 walks. A 2.17 ERA.
That is into the gap. It's going to advance the runners. Fielded cleanly in left for the Rebels by Deculus. But not before you have runners again on first and second base. Nobody out here in the top of the third. That is the first hit of the ball game, Scott, for Central. And I believe this is their 5th or 6th base runner.
Yeah, there were 4 walks by Brown, a hit batsman. And yeah, this is the first hit. You know, it's a dangerous game to play to keep being in trouble regardless of who's pitching.
That pitch gets past Swallow. He missed it. Just lost it in his vision, it looked like. Didn't hang on to it. Runners advance. Now you got runners at second and third. Nobody out here in the top of the third. And the Rebels defensively are officially in trouble. So Hartzog at the plate. That is a swing and a miss. Even count at 1-1. Hartzog was the only Summit Financial strikeout victim of the ballgame so far in his first at bat. Rebels would love to replicate that here in his second as well.
Coming over the top, trying to get Hartzog to go fishing a little bit just on the outside of the plate.
Boudreau delivers. That's inside. And, oof. Scott, I thought that went off his jersey.
Oh, I was afraid we had a hit batsman.
Yeah, that's my point. Regardless, it'll bring the count to 3-1. That's fouled off, make the count full. Clutch pitch by Boudreau. Second batter in a row who has worked the count full. That's hit into left field, and that's trouble. Well, first run is in. Second run is in as well. The ball on its way in. A stand-up double for Braylon Herzog, the left fielder. And Central has a 2-1 lead over the Teurlings Rebels. Still nobody out here in the top of the third inning.
Herzog turned on that one well.
At the plate for the Wildcats, number 4, Brady Wiles.
Understatement, but he did it with authority. And down that line, and you've got Deculus playing, halfway between left and center, so he wasn't there.
That'll bring Brady Wiles to the plate. Cleanup hitter for the Wildcats as he swings at this one, pops it up. Chavis is making his way in and makes the catch to get the first out of the inning.
Chavis just stood there for a second and just sized it up. And, of course, the wind's kind of crazy, as it has been for all of our games. And then when he made his move, smooth as silk.
Right fielder Lane Billings comes to the plate. He flied out in his first at bat. Boudreaux delivers home, and that's going to be outside for ball 1. That's hit towards third. Fielded cleanly. Does he make the tag? Nope. Umpire said he did not make the tag, but the out is accumulated at first, which means there are 2 away here in the top of the third.
He was trying to sell it.
Yeah, Scott, it looked like he might have been really close. I mean, from here, it's obviously very difficult to see because the angle's bad. But regardless, there are now 2 out here in the inning. That'll send Houston Miley to the plate, who takes ball 1.
And look, Storms wasn't arguing about it either. And, we'll often say, how could that official make that call? That guy had a really good vision, good angle at it.
The 1-0 to Miley is going to be low and outside, make it 2-0. That pitch is behind him, but it gets away from the catcher. The throw is not in time. The run scores from third on what's got to be a wild pitch, Scott. And the Rebels have fallen behind 3-1.
Now, you had Swallow trying to go really high toward the batter. Got to be a wild pitch.
I was about to say. So the bases are clear. Central has plated 3 runs here in the third. The 3-0 pitch is high, ball 4, as Miley collects a walk and advances down to first base.
If this game goes south of the Rebels at the end of the game, Brooks Battle will clearly talk about the mistakes you made and the free passes you gave them.
I was about to say 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now at the plate, number
5, 6, 7. 7 walks through 2 2/3 innings.
And a hit batsman.
Well, okay, 7 free passes.
That, yeah.
7 free passes, 6 walks, and a hit batsman. Yeah. That pitch is hit into left center. That's going to bring the runner towards third. Chavis is going to throw. It's not in time. Runners at the corners after another single. And, Scott, the Rebels need to find a way out of the third inning in the worst way.
I thought Boudreaux was getting into a nice little rhythm, had a couple outs after those 2 runs.
That'll bring center fielder Reese Tillman to the plate for Central. He's the one that popped up in foul territory and was able to give the Rebels a double play. Central trying to play a little first-third steal action. Rebels just didn't bother, as Boudreaux, I don't think, noticed to begin with and then wisely didn't throw when he stopped. So now runners at second and third. Still 2 away here in the top of the third. They've already plated 3. Breaking balls in for a strike. Scott, that might have been one of the prettiest pitches we've seen all afternoon.
Oh, especially that inside strike. You know, a lot of guys don't have the guts to throw that.
That ball's hit towards left. Can Deculus get there? No, he can't. It scores not 1, but 2. A 2-run RBI single, and Scott, the bleeding is profuse in the third for the Rebels.
You know, Deculus, he was on his horses, but he just, he made the smart call. He just couldn't get to it, and you keep the ball in front of you. So
that'll bring Peyton Walls to the plate. And Scott, I believe now that they've batted around here in the third inning. That one's fouled away, make it 0-1.
Yeah, Walls is the 9th batter.
That pitch is low for ball 1. Check that. Yes, ball 1.
On the plus side, if you're the Rebels, it's only the 3rd. On the downside, you haven't really found a way to stop these guys, and you've been creating all kinds of mistakes and opportunities for them.
That ball is popped up and fielded by Chavis. He records the first and the last out of the inning. But it didn't happen quickly enough, because what happened in between those outs was ugly. The Rebels surrender 5 on 4 hits, no errors, 2 runners left as the Rebels head to the bottom of the third inning. 5-1, they trail Central High on the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Walking in, seeing all the people at the Aspen Clinic makes it so much easier to just get started.
Coming here and having a real person makes the difference.
The accountability is a big thing because it gets you to your goals quicker.
The Aspen Clinic offers more than just GLP-1s, because you deserve more than just a prescription.
They would never give me anything that would harm me, and they only want the best for me.
No contracts, no membership fees, just real in-person support.
Don't wait, call the Aspen Clinic today.
In the heart of Lafayette, something strong is growing. We believe in creating opportunity right here, so our young professionals don't have to leave Louisiana to build their future. At Beal & Aber, we're proud to stand up for the people of Acadiana. When you need strong legal representation, whether you're injured in a car wreck, have a construction dispute, you are dealing with a civil matter, or you just need help with estate planning, we're here when it matters most. Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown lawyers.
Teurlings Rebels coming to the plate here in the bottom of the third, and they will need to manufacture some runs alongside Scott Brazda. I'm Kevon Bordelon. This is Teurlings Rebels baseball presented by Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. First pitch is outside for ball 1 to Carter Deculus. The Rebels will go 3-4-5 here in the third. That pitch is right down the middle for a strike to even the count. And Scott, you know, we were talking about it in the inning. If you don't negate the free passes, they will eventually come back to haunt you. That pitch is outside, make it 2-1. And that's what happened to the Rebels finally in the third. They'd given up a ton of free passes in the first 2 innings and managed to escape unscathed, not there in the third. Deculus hits this one towards the gap in first and second base, and he will have a leadoff runner for the Rebels as Deculus gets the single, and the Rebels have what they need, which is a base runner here in the third inning.
Well, you know, the top of those 3 innings, I mean, the Rebels were constantly in trouble, and eventually the law of averages catch up with you. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a dog who chases cars or a professional golfer who's always putting for par. It's just not a recipe for success.
That'll send Storms to the plate. Shows bunt, pulls it back, takes ball 1. And Scott, Dozat has been what you need from a high school pitcher, which is just somebody who finds the zone on the hill, and he has done that consistently. That ball's fouled back as Storm showed bunt, wanted to retract the bat and just couldn't do it in time, so the count is even at 1-1.
Dozat's really good at resetting himself, too, because he's had a couple wild pitches, a couple balls that you can tell he's kind of overthrowing, and he looks off balance, and then he'll come back and he'll throw 3 or 4 in a row that are just right where he wants them. Certainly getting out of a bases-loaded jam in the first. That's a lot of fortitude.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That is fouled back, and somebody needs to watch out on the softball field. So Storms, who singled and has the Rebels' lone RBI here in the ball game, will need to defend the plate now with 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swings at that one, fouls it back, stays alive at the plate. Might have wanted to just bail out. It looked like it was going to be inside.
Yeah, it looked like it was aimed right at his hands and his wrists.
Storms will settle back into the box drop batter's box. If you are looking for furniture in Acadiana, not just bedding, furniture, box drop Lafayette might be your place to go. Should be your place to go. That's going to be hit towards second. The ball comes out. The runner is safe, now headed to third, and the Rebels have runners at the corners, nobody out, Scott. The second baseman, Keller, from Central, went to tag Deculus, and instead the ball came out, so it's fielded cleanly. Then the error is on the tag, which allows everybody to be safe.
And good communication between Batto and Deculus. I mean, Deculus knew to keep your eye on your coach and just keep trucking.
Sometimes when you find yourself behind 4 runs in the third inning, you need a little bit of luck, and that might be the break the Rebels needed. So runners at the corners, nobody out. Hudson Clavel, who singled his last time, is at the plate and takes ball 1.
Clavel added a couple points up to about 274.
Shows bunt again, takes that one for a strike, evens the count.
Clavel running back for the Rebels. Spring practice starts in a couple weeks, although he will be busy with the baseball team. Hopefully for the next month.
Rebels showing some discipline on the base path, Scott, as Dozat wanted to try and go the first-third pickoff move, and instead they get a pop-up. It's in shallow left. Started to tag was Deculus, then wisely goes back to third because that ball was in plenty of time, and we have 1 away here in the third. Runners still at the corners, though, for the Rebels.
And still with 2 on, you've got the your team's leading RBI guy.
Vincent fell behind 0-2 and then worked a walk in the first inning. Beauty of a bunt towards first base. It goes foul, and everybody will reset. Had a little too much mustard on that one, Scott. It just rolled a little too far.
Just wouldn't walk the line like we wanted it to.
Vincent will settle back in from the left side. Shows bunt again. Wisely takes ball 1. That one's outside and high. Make it 2 balls, 1 strike for Vincent.
Vincent's eye and discipline at the plate. I mean, Worth the applause.
Those that delivers for a strike evens the count at 2-2. And Scott, I thought that was going to be low.
I thought it was low and inside.
Regardless, the count is even with one out. Runners at the corners for the Rebels, trailing 5-1 in the bottom of the third. That's going to be hit at the third baseman, and the baseball gods do not like the Rebels today. That might have been hit harder, Scott, than almost anything we've seen Central hit all day, but when you hit it right at the third baseman and he makes the catch, turns the double play, it retires the side. So the Rebels get no runs on one hit, one error, and trail 5-1 as we head to the top of the fourth right here on the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
At Oxnard Lafayette General, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving. Our team of experts delivers specialized, coordinated care through a nationally renowned orthopedic and sports medicine program, providing the most advanced equipment and modern facilities, and covering you from the field to fast forward your healing. Oxnard Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Long live you.
Uncle T's Oyster Bar and Scott is your destination for Acadiana's best local seafood.
Enjoy our delicious specialties, including raw and charbroiled oysters, bald crawfish, small bites, salads, po' boys, and a variety of seafood baskets.
We feature happy hour specials every day from 2 to 6 with half off domestic draft and bottled beer.
And you can't leave without a serving of Mom and Nat's delicious bread pudding.
Uncle T's across the railroad tracks in Scott.
Serving Gulf oysters just the way you like them.
Heading into the fourth inning here at Teurlings Catholic High with Teurlings Rebels Baseball presented by Beal and Abear, Acadiana's hometown attorneys, alongside Scott Brazda. I'm Kavan Bordelon. The full-on production team from Full Service Productions here in the booth with us, as well as Ike Brunet, Scott, down there getting highlights for our Facebook page, Teurlings Catholic Sports Radio. Actually, it's the Teurlings Catholic Football Radio Network on Facebook because they won't let us change it. It's a whole nother story. But regardless, the Rebels trail 5-1 as we head here to the fourth inning, and the Rebels have changed pitchers yet again. Lincoln Guillory is now on the Staff Sergeant Richard Poole pitcher's mound, presented by Diamond G Farms. Guillory's first offering is a low and outside. Make it 1-0. It is 1-2-3. That is Keller, Austin, Hartzog for Central here in the fourth. That is now 2-0 to Keller.
Guillory, typically the Rebels closer. He's got 3 saves on the year, 1-3 record, 1.24 ERA.
Keller pops this one up. Out of play, bring the count to 2-1. Keller has 2 walks here this afternoon.
Opponents hitting .216 against Guillory. 30 strikeouts, 14 walks, only 4 earned runs.
That's hit towards right. Can Vincent get there? He does. And the Rebels, Scott, for the first time this afternoon, retire the leadoff man. It's not until the fourth inning that it happens.
Vincent, like Chavis, just makes it look so easy. Even with balls zooming at your face.
It's got to be fair. That ball was hit hard to the opposite field. Just one of those ones where man happens to be in the right spot as Guillory's first offering to Austin is in for a strike. Cooper Austin has been hit by a pitch and walked this afternoon. Now he's behind 0-2 to Lincoln Guillory, who seems to have found a little bit of a rhythm, Mr. Brazda.
Well, Guillory, 30 strikeouts in 22 2/3 innings. That's impressive.
That ground ball is fouled past the third baseline. Keep the count at 0-2. That's in for a strike. A first one looking this afternoon. A Summit Financial strikeout here at Teurlings Catholic High as Lincoln Guillory sends Cooper Austin back to the dugout.
31 strikeouts.
And to the plate now, number 20, Mason Hartzog.
Left fielder Braylon Hartzog has struck out, doubled, and has 2 RBI this afternoon. Couldn't find that one, make it 0-1.
Was it last year in the state tournament where we saw Guillory and we knew he was going to be something special?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
That ball is hit towards right field. Vincent drifting to his left. He's in foul territory, squeezes it, and the Teurlings Rebels for the first time this afternoon go 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Rebels trail it 5-1 to Central Wildcats here on Teurlings Catholic Sports.
Tired of overpaying for mattresses? Stop! Box Drop Lafayette can save you 50 to 80% off big box prices. Brands include Sealy, Serta Simmons, and more. Twins start at $89, fulls at $120, queens from $128, kings from $198, plus adjustable bases, sofas, sectionals, and more. All factory direct. Huge savings, better sleep. 3221 Highway 90 East in Broussard, 5 miles south of the airport, or boxdroplafayette.com. Call 337-780-7076. Don't pay retail. We even have easy payment plans. Sleep better, save bigger. Box Drop Lafayette. Proudly from Pocheville, Louisiana, Diamond G Farms may no longer be running full operations, but our heart for this community beats stronger than ever. Honored to memorialize the pitching mound at Teurlings Catholic High School baseball, now officially named in memory of brave Staff Sergeant Richard Poole. To the Rebels, players, coaches, and fans, keep throwing strikes, swinging for the fences, and honoring those who served. Diamond G Farms, supporting faith, family, and future champions. Go Rebels!
Bottom of the 4th inning for the Teurlings Rebels. They trail 5-1 to the Central Wildcats out of Baton Rouge alongside Scott Brasda. I'm Kevon Bordelon. This is Teurlings Catholic Baseball presented by Beal and Hebert. Lance Beal, Kenny Hebert, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. Evan Dozat back on the hill for the Central Wildcats for his 4th inning of work. He's only surrendered 3 hits and 1 run. Had a nice afternoon for Central.
He survived that first inning. A Rebels score 1. They have the bases juiced. Pitches away out of it.
That pitch is in for a strike to Mason Gonzalez. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. So it's 7, 8, 9 in the inning for the Rebels. That's Gonzalez, Swallow, and Bro. That pitch is low and outside. Make it 2-1.
So he faced 7 batters in that first inning, but in the second and third, only 4 each.
That pitch is outside, make it 3-1.
There are just a couple times where it looks like Dozat tries to do a little bit too much and he comes off the mound just a touch unbalanced, but then he's been resetting himself, so I would imagine this will be a good one. No.
A 5-pitch walk to Mason Gonzalez, and the Rebels have the leadoff man on here in the 4th inning.
That's his 3rd walk of the game.
22, John Aaron Swallow.
Rebel catcher John Aaron Swallow will settle into the left side of the box drop batter's box. Shows bunt, lays it down. It's a beaut. On his way to first, the throw is in time, but it advances the runner who is back to the bag in time. Gonzalez got a little aggressive at second, but made it back in time for the throw. And the Rebels get what they want, which is a man at second base with only 1 out.
Number 29, Jackson.
That was a nice bunt. And you can just see, I mean, Brooks Battle spends so much time on those little things. Not so little when you're winning state championships.
Jackson Bro walked in his first at bat, fouls this one off, make it 0-1. Yeah, Scott, if there was any chance of Swallow being safe on a bunt, that was about the bunt you were looking for. Just a nice defensive play by Central. Another bunt. This one back to Dozat, throws easily over to first, and the Rebels have a runner at third, but now 2 out in the inning.
plus side is you've got your leadoff guy who's hitting 450 something.
Now batting number 10, Kaden
Chavis reached on an error and then sacrificed runners over, but with 2 out, he's going to need a little timely hitting here to get the Rebels back on the scoreboard. Scott, it does not look as if he is contemplating anything conservative. That was a nice hack.
Yeah, it was. We usually don't see him. Usually he's squaring up, but then with 2 outs. Although a bunt by Chavis, he can outrun most of them.
That pitch is outside, evens the count. That pitch apparently caught the outside black, making 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Looked low and outside to me.
Yeah, it did.
So Dozat's 71st pitch right here. Thank you, Tommy Dean.
That ball hit right back to Dozat. Now he's got a little trouble with it. He's going to throw to first, and it's in time. Fished out by the first baseman well, and the Rebels had a chance but could not scratch another run across. Instead, we'll head to the top of the 5th inning. Rebels trail 5-1 to Central High here on the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Tired of overpaying for mattresses?
Walking in and seeing all the people at the Aspen Clinic makes it so much easier to just get started.
Coming here and having a real person makes the difference.
The accountability is a big thing because it gets you to your goals quicker.
The Aspen Clinic offers more than just GLP-1s because you deserve more than just a prescription.
They would never give me anything that would harm me, and they only want the best for me.
No contracts, no membership fees, just real in-person support.
Don't wait, call the Aspen Clinic today.
In the heart of Lafayette, something strong is growing. We believe in creating opportunity right here, so our young professionals don't have to leave Louisiana to build their future. At Beal & Aber, we're proud to stand up for the people of Acadiana. When you need strong legal representation, whether you're injured in a car wreck, have a construction dispute, you're dealing with a civil matter, or you just need help with estate planning, we're here when it matters most. Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown lawyers.
Welcome back to Teurlings Catholic High School with Scott Brazda. I'm Kavan Bordelon. Rebels trail 5-1 to the Central Wildcats out of Baton Rouge. Rebels had a 1-0 lead after the first, but then surrendered 5 in the 3rd inning. And now we're trying to find their way back into this one. New guy on the hill was brought in last inning, Scott. Lincoln Guillory. When he's on, and he was on there in the 4th inning.
Line out, strikeout, fly out.
The Wildcats, number 4, Brady Wiles.
Up to 31 strikeouts on the year.
4-5-6 for Central here in the inning. Brady Wiles popped up his last at bat, grounded out in his first attempt. He is now ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Make it 3-0 from Guillory.
Actually, I think we have a track meet next door.
Sounds as if we do, Scott. A 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning as Guillory comes back out to the hill and has a little trouble finding the zone.
Now batting number 20, Lane Billings.
That'll bring right fielder Lane Billings to the plate. He's flied out and grounded out here this afternoon. First pitch from Guillory is right down the middle for strike 1.
Good-sized kid, the number 5 hitter.
Hit towards short. Classic double play ball. Fielded cleanly. 6-4-3. A twin killing here at Teurlings Catholic High. And there are 2 out now here in the top of the 5th.
And that was just perfect. I mean, nice scoop, quick pitch, great relay.
Now at the plate, number 2, Houston Miley.
Six-hole hitter Houston Miley will now step in and take strike one from Guillory.
You want to keep coming back, Brooks Batto. You know, when you're not a big home run hitting team, what do you make up for it? You create runs. You make sure you have exemplary defense. That was
breaking ball, doesn't get the call. Oh, that's tough to watch that pitch up here in the press box because you saw where it started, you saw where the catcher caught it, and it had to break through the zone. There's just no other way. I think Miley knew that he wasn't going to get that call again, swung at that one, make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Because that was almost the exact same pitch. Swing and a miss, another Summit Financial strikeout. Teurlings Rebels again go 1, 2, 3. Not exactly the way that you would think. The double play ball factors big. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Rebels still trail at 5-1 to Central.
At Oxnard Lafayette General, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving. Our team of experts delivers specialized, coordinated care through a nationally renowned orthopedic and sports medicine program, providing the most advanced equipment and modern facilities, and covering you from the field to fast forward your healing. Oxnard Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Long live you.
Uncle T's Oyster Bar in Scott is your destination for Acadiana's best local seafood.
Enjoy our delicious specialties, including raw and charbroiled oysters, bald crawfish, small bites, salads, po' boys, and a variety of seafood baskets.
We feature happy hour specials every day from 2 to 6 with half off domestic draft and bottled beer.
And you can't leave without a serving of Mom and Nat's delicious bread pudding.
Uncle T's across the railroad tracks in Scott.
Serving Gulf oysters just the way you like them.
It's going to be 2, 3, 4 here in the bottom of the 5th. Alongside Scott Brazda, I'm Kevon Bordelon. Teurlings Rebels Baseball, presented by Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. Mr. Brazda, the Rebels need to find a way to manufacture some runs, and if you want to do it, 2-hole, 3-hole, 4-hole hitter is probably the way to get it started.
Yeah, this isn't a bad batch. You know, Power, Deculus, Storms, Clavel, and then Vincent right after that, if you get that far.
Power has a bunt sacrifice and a ground out so far this afternoon, which means that young man is about due. Dozat delivers, and it's low for ball 1. Dozat's had a nice day on the hill for the Central Wildcats, Scott.
Yeah, I think
great control and good placement.
I think his pitch count's in the mid-70s or so.
That's going to be called a strike on the outside corner. Make it 1-1.
Power hitting 307.
Pops this one up. Is it going to stay fair? It'll be in foul territory, but a nice catch to retire the leadoff man by the third baseman. That's Houston Miley who makes the catch. And, Scott, if there's one thing that I can say Dozat has been good at, he has induced an awful lot of pop-ups here this afternoon.
Has. Yeah, he sure has.
It doesn't look like his stuff is overpowering, but the location is great, and he gets that call against left-handed batters on, we'll call it the outside black. When you get that call consistently, it's difficult. That ball popped up to right field. The second baseman drifting over, able to make the catch, and there's 2 down here in the 5th that quickly.
Back-to-back pop-ups.
Play now for the Rebels, number 19, Brennan Storms.
So that'll bring up Storms as the Rebels got to find a little 2-out magic if they want to get anything done here in the 5th. That was Deculus, by the way, that popped up. Storms has a single RBI and reached on an error. Squares to bunt, takes one inside. Squares to bunt again. That one's right over the heart of the plate. Evens the count at 1-1.
You know, Dozat has a strikeout, but a lot of pitch to contact.
That pitch is low and outside. And, Scott, to your point, it doesn't look like he's got overpowering velocity. It doesn't look like he's got a ton of movement. Just his placement is exceptional. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Rebels trail at 5-1. That pitch is a beautiful pitch. Low outside third of the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on here in the 5th. That's going to be outside, make it 3-2. The wind that we talked about at the beginning of the game seems to have died down just a bit, Scott. Not nearly as strong as it was earlier. That's going to be hit towards left, and it's way foul.
And when we do get that gust, it's all over the place.
One of the youngsters at St. Genevieve might want to watch out for that one somewhere around the cafetorium.
Yeah.
The 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. Glad I didn't park my truck there. As I see Aaron. No, I see Aaron waving his head going, I parked my car right there. Nothing like going to work from needing a windshield because of it. The 3-2 pitch fouled off again as Storms is fighting off pitch after pitch after pitch.
Aaron, I can't help you. In my 1 year of law school, it was called assumption of risk.
Dozat waves off a couple of pitches. Now Storms will step out of the batter's box. That pitch is high and inside, and Storms has worked a walk and a lengthy at-bat. So 3 at-bats, and Storms ends up on base all 3 times. That'll send Clavel to the plate for the Rebels. He is the designated hitter. He singled and popped up this afternoon.
Storms definitely drove up Dozat's pitch count.
Had to wait a second. That pitch is low for ball 1. Was concerned we've seen pitches in that area called a strike this afternoon. That one's fouled back into the net, evens the count at 1-1. You have to think that was the pitch Clavel was looking for. Just a fastball from the right-hander. If he could have squared it up, might have been able to do something nice with it. The 1-1 pitch is outside, make it 2-1. That ball's fouled back. And if the first one that was fouled back wasn't Aaron's car, that one was.
That hit Aaron's backup car. Because usually he brings 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Rebels trail 5-1. That pitch is high, make it 3-2.
First one hit Aaron's Maserati, and the second one hit his Lamborghini.
Scott, the last 2 at-bats have probably been 12 to 13 pitches between the 2 at-bats.
Oh, he's got to be in the 90s now.
Yeah. The Rebels would love nothing more than to see Dozat go away because he has been nice on the hill this afternoon for Central. That ball's hit towards short. Slow roller, pickup throw across the infield is in time. And I would love to see a video replay of that because, man, that one was close, but the Rebels don't get the call. Instead, it's a ground out, meaning that the Rebels get no runs on no hits, no errors, and head to the 6th, trailing 5-1 to Central in the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Tired of overpaying for mattresses? Stop! Box Drop Lafayette can save you 50 to 80% off big box prices. Brands include Sealy, Serta Simmons, and more. Twins start at $89, fulls at $120, queens from $128, kings from $198, plus adjustable bases, sofas, sectionals, and more. All factory direct. Huge savings, better sleep. 3221 Highway 90 East in Broussard, 5 miles south of the airport, or boxdroplafayette.com. Call 337-780-7076. Don't pay retail. We even have easy payment plans. Sleep better, save bigger. Box Drop Lafayette. Proudly from Pocheville, Louisiana, Diamond G Farms may no longer be running full operations, but our heart for this community beats stronger than ever. Honored to memorialize the pitching mound at Teurlings Catholic High School baseball, now officially named in memory of brave Staff Sergeant Richard Poole. To the Rebels, players, coaches, and fans, keep throwing strikes, swinging for the fences, and honoring those who served. Diamond G Farms, supporting faith, family, and future champions. Go Rebels!
Teurlings Rebels trail 5-1 here at Teurlings Catholic High. Central visiting, and the Wildcats feasted in basically one inning. In the third inning, they managed 5 runs. The Rebels had issued a lot of free passes, and Scott, the Rebels are trying to dig themselves out of that hole. But they've gotten a respite since Lincoln Guillory has gotten on the hill.
They sure have. I mean, 3 out of 3 in the 4th inning, 3 out of 3 courtesy of a double play in the 5th.
So that means we will see 7, 8, 9 Payne, Tillman, Walls here in the 6th inning. Ground ball picked up easily at third base. The throw across the infield by Storms is in plenty of time. And Scott defensively at third. Man, Brennan Storms has just been an absolute cornerstone.
And how good was that? Because he really had to throw on the run. Couldn't really plant. I mean, that's arm strength and that upper body, you know, from the waist up.
Center fielder Reese Tillman. He's popped up, singled, has a couple of RBI, and takes strike 1. Guillory winds, fires, and Tillman just cannot find it. As Guillory, Scott, we talked about him being a large young man. I mean, when he's there on the Staff Sergeant Richard Poole pitcher's mound, he looms large as he gets another swing, fouls that one off to keep the count 0-2. But Guillory is one of those, in high school, imposing figures on the pitcher's mound.
Well, he just attacks, too. You know, there's nothing fancy about Guillory.
That pitch is low and outside, bring the count to 1-2. Pops that one up out of play, keep that count. This is exactly the same. And the one thing that I do like about Guillory, Scott, is that his location is not overly consistent. He is able to, and what I say by that, I mean he's actually able to find his spots. So he's not just a fastball down the middle, even though he throws heat. He's actually able to find the lower third. He's able to come inside and move that location enough. I think that's a better way to say it. He moves the location of his pitches enough that it keeps hitters guessing. That one couldn't find the zone, though, at 2-2, as Guillory works quickly. Finds that one. There's the beautiful part of great location. It goes to the outside. The throw by Swallow to first base is in time, and there's 2 down here in the 6th.
Well, following up on what you said about Guillory, it's a heat with a purpose, heat with a plan, and heat with discipline. You know, he's not all over the place.
That is what, our 4th Summit Financial strikeout of the ball game, Mr. Brazda?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
Ball's low and outside as Peyton Walls, the designated hitter, steps to the plate. Scott, I have him with a ground out, but I do not have him with his second at bat here this afternoon. That pitch is outside black. Make it 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch is inside, 2-1.
Walls a ground out, a fly out.
That was the at-bat that I missed. That's a high chopper. Picked up by Guillory, tagged on his way, and that's going to do it for the inning. Guillory, another 1-2-3 inning for the Rebels. No runs, no hits, no errors. That'll send us to the bottom of the 6th. Rebels trail 5-1 to Central here on the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Tired of overpaying for mattresses? Stop. Box Drop Lafayette can save you 50 to 80% off big box prices. Brands include Sealy, Serta Simmons, and more. Twins start at $89, fulls at $120, queens from $128, kings from $198, plus adjustable bases, sofas, sectionals, and more. All factory direct. Huge savings, better sleep. 3221 Highway 90 East in Broussard, 5 miles south of the airport, or boxdroplafayette.com. Call 337-780-7076. Don't pay retail. We even have easy payment plans. Sleep better, save bigger. Box Drop Lafayette. Proudly from Pocheville, Louisiana, Diamond G Farms may no longer be running full operations, but our heart for this community beats stronger than ever. Honored to memorialize the pitching mound at Teurlings Catholic High School baseball, now officially named in memory of brave Staff Sergeant Richard Poole. To the Rebels, players, coaches, and fans, keep throwing strikes, swinging for the fences, and honoring those who served. Diamond G Farms, supporting faith, family, and future champions. Go Rebels!
Bottom of the 6th inning, Rebels trail 5-1 to Central High School out of Baton Rouge. Scott, we need to thank a couple other sponsors here this afternoon. We want to start with J.B. Mouton. Bumgardner Dental is also with us as well, so we'll start with them instead of J.B. Mouton. Bumgardner Dental, always with us. They're always there for the Rebels.
Oh, and Ben does a great job. He set up shop in Karen Crow, and he is a good family guy, good supporter of, just all the folks in Upper Lafayette.
6, 7, 8 for the Rebels, starting with Evan Vincent, who fouls that one back into the net.
And Ben's also there for us on a repeated basis.
It's amazing that we get personal with a lot of people, right? I think we forget how personal we end up with our dentist. That ball is outside and high. Keep it 1-1. Interesting to see Dozat out for another inning of work, Scott. He's a lot of pitches in. That's in for a strike. Make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Vincent thought about it, but just couldn't pull the trigger.
And Dozat's got to be getting close. But, here's a guy that could work the count if he wanted to, because Vincent's a master at just watching the balls and strikes.
That's hit towards another line drive. I mean, the third baseman twice has not had to move his feet. He sticks his glove out, and I didn't realize that Christmas happened in April, but apparently here we are.
And Miley both times. And he had to go low. Hats off to Miley. We've got 2 really good third basemen here in this ballgame. Both times he had to get a little low, and nice job. So Dozat at his 96th pitch right there.
So that sends Mason Gonzalez to the plate, who fouls off that first pitch. Rebels just need base runners. They're down to 5 outs remaining in the ball game, and that one's hit towards second. Not fielded cleanly. That's an error on the second baseman. The Rebels will take it, and Gonzalez is at first base for the Rebels.
Now coming to the plate, number 22, John Aaron Swallow.
And Scott, look, that's one of those fundamental baseball plays, right? That ball was not hit overly hard. Sometimes you just got to put your body in front of it instead of trying to backhand it. If it takes that hop and you're in front of it, it probably plays off your chest. Instead, the Rebels have a runner at first, and now a 1-0 count to John Aaron Swallow.
About the only negative you can say about Central is that they've got 3 errors on the day.
Swallow couldn't find that one, evens the count at 1-1. Fouls that one back, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Scott, the one thing the Rebels really have not been able to do today is, neither team has hit the ball exceptionally well. Central has 4 hits, the Rebels have 3. but timely hitting for the Rebels just has not been something they could accomplish, as opposed to the Central Wildcats, who managed to get hits when they needed it in the third inning, and Swallow couldn't find that one. Instead, he'll head back to the dugout. There's now 2 out here in the inning.
And as we've seen a couple times, and credit Miley, the Rebels have, the couple times they've really rocked on one, it's been right at Miley at third base.
Jackson Bro bravely stands in the box drop batter's box as that one almost hit him in the helmet. I applaud the young man for not bailing out. He knows the Rebels need base runners. He'll take that one, though. Even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouls this one off, bring the count to 1-2. And now you notice Dozat Scott is working a little bit of a faster pace. A little bit more tempo for him out on the hill.
Wants to get this one done and get back to Zachary.
That ball is popped up. Second baseman drifting back, now comes forward, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So the Rebels get no runs, no hits on 1 error, and retires the 6th inning, trailing 5-1 to Central. Top of the 7th when we come back here on Teurlings Rebels Sports Network.
Walking in, seeing all the people at the Aspen Clinic makes it so much easier to just get started.
Coming here and having a real person makes the difference.
The accountability is a big thing because it gets you to your goals quicker.
The Aspen Clinic offers more than just GLP-1s, because you deserve more than just a prescription.
They would never give me anything that would harm me, and they only want the best for me.
No contracts, no membership fees, just real in-person support.
Don't wait, call the Aspen Clinic today.
In the heart of Lafayette, something strong is growing. We believe in creating opportunity right here, so our young professionals don't have to leave Louisiana to build their future. At Beal & Aber, we're proud to stand up for the people of Acadiana. When you need strong legal representation, whether you're injured in a car wreck, have a construction dispute, you are dealing with a civil matter, or you just need help with estate planning, we're here when it matters most. Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown lawyers.
Teurlings Rebels Baseball brought to you by Beal and Aber, Acadiana's hometown attorneys, but plenty of sponsors who help us out. JB Mouton Construction, Scott, has actually just been a fantastic sponsor of Teurlings Rebels Baseball. We appreciate everything they do.
Yep, Stuart Bio, son of the legendary Popey.
Leading off in the top of the
And,
seventh
I mean,
for the Wildcats, number 9.
Find a
Barry
building
Keller.
in the Acadiana area over the last bunch of decades, and JB Mouton has a good chance may have had something to do with it.
Top of the order for Central here in the top of the 7th. Guillory's still on the staff. Sergeant Richard Poole, pitcher's mound for the Rebels. And that first offering cannot find the zone.
Keller, Austin, Herzog.
That pitch is inside, make it 2-0. Keller has 2 walks and a fly out here so far this afternoon as Guillory finds the zone with that one, and it's fouled back. Softball diamond may need to look out for that falling from the sky. Guillory off the foul ball evens the count at 2-2, and Scott Guillory has been a steadying force out there for the Rebels on the hill.
Yeah, he came in and just essentially he's been lights out.
Gotten some defense behind him as well, a nice double play. As that ball goes back into the net and keeps Keller alive at the plate.
You know, the rare time we saw Guillory not pitching like Guillory was that St. Thomas More game over here at TCH.
2-2 pitch, breaking ball is popped up. Bro settles underneath it, squeezes it, and the first batter of the 7th inning is retired as Guillory has 1 away.
Now batting number 24, Cooper Austin.
That'll send Cooper Austin to the plate.
Hit by a pitch, a single, and a strikeout.
That ball is fouled back, and another one where you can hear everybody on our ambient mic. Heads up, because there are lots of people back there this afternoon. As you said, Scott, I think a track meet, a softball game.
Yep.
Surprised we don't have a swap meet across the street. The 0-1 pitch is low, make it 1-1. Guillory can't find the front corner of the plate with that one, make it 2-1. And Scott, that's a pitch that, given where the catcher receives the ball, it actually is closer to a strike than a lot of people think.
Oh, it sure is.
The way it broke in front of the plate, just like that, finds the zone and evens the count at 2-2. That one's low, brings the count full.
Guillory's been so good about starting inside on a right-handed batter and then just zooming it diagonally across the plate.
That one's fouled off, and that probably didn't feel good as it looked like it came off the shin of Austin.
Yeah, stretching that lower right leg.
So let's redo the full count. That one's hit towards short. Fielded cleanly. Cross the infield, and again, Power retires the runner with a quick throw, and the Rebels have 2 down here in the top of the 7th.
Headed to the plate for the Wildcats, number 23, Grayson Hartzog.
So that'll bring Hartzog to the plate. He has struck out, doubled with 2 RBIs and a flyout here so far this afternoon. First pitch is going to be low for ball 1.
Looking ahead to the 7th, the Rebels will throw up Chavis, Power, Deculus to try to keep them alive.
That's hit towards second. Can Bro get there? No. And that is, Scott, just the 5th hit of the ball game for Central, yet they have 5 runs on the board. The Rebels gave them just a lot of free passes early in this ball game, and to their credit, Central made it count.
Number 4, Brady Wiles.
And the first hit against Guillory, only other runner was courtesy of a walk.
I'll bring the left-hander Brady Wiles to the plate. He's grounded out, popped out, and walked this afternoon.
The ambient mic's picking up the softball field really well.
Hartzog will take second. The Rebels will basically offer indifference to it and not even attempt to throw.
Softball's over. All I know is that the Rebels won.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Brazda. Unfortunately, Guillory is now 3-0 to Wiles, the Central first baseman. That pitch is in for a strike, make it 3-1. And Scott, to your point, I think that Hartzog is not just the first hit. He is not the first base runner either, because we did get the double play with Guillory on the hill.
Yeah, that walk.
That pitch is outside. And we have another free pass from the Rebels, Scott, which has got to be, what, our 8th of the day?
Now batting number 20, Lane Billings.
So the right fielder, Billings, will come to the plate with runners at first and second, 2 away here in the top of the 7th. That's going to be hit towards first base and thankfully goes foul for the Rebels. So instead of it being significant trouble, it's just a strike. Guillory checks the runner at second. Now comes home. That's going to be strike two. We are getting word that someone has already sacrificed a windshield here this afternoon. Aaron says it was the car next to yours. Wow.
Oh, so there were two Lamborghinis in the parking lot. That's right.
The 0-2 pitch from Guillory. Runners are going, and that's going to be fouled back. That's going to send everyone back to where they started. Central had the hit and run on, and Billings just couldn't quite come through. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Rebels trail at 5-1 here to Central High. That's going to be hit towards right, and Vincent makes the catch in right field.
Wow.
The Rebels senior comes up big with a beautiful catch in right field to retire the side. So Central gets no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. The Rebels need 4 to play extra baseball in the bottom of the 7th when we come back on Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Walking in and seeing all the people at the Aspen Clinic makes it so much easier to just get started.
Coming here and having a real person makes the difference.
The accountability is a big thing because it gets you to your goals quicker.
The Aspen Clinic offers more than just GLP-1s because you deserve more than just a prescription.
They would never give me anything that would harm me, and they only want the best for me.
No contracts, no membership fees, just real in-person support.
Don't wait, call the Aspen Clinic today.
In the heart of Lafayette, something strong is growing. We believe in creating opportunity right here, so our young professionals don't have to leave Louisiana to build their future. At Beal & Aber, we're proud to stand up for the people of Acadiana. When you need strong legal representation, whether you're injured in a car wreck, have a construction dispute, you are dealing with a civil matter, or you just need help with estate planning, we're here when it matters most. Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown lawyers.
New pitcher on the hill for the Central Wildcats. Teurlings Rebels trail 5-1, bottom of the 7th. Alongside Scott Brazda, I'm Kavan Bordelon. Rebels need 4 to play extra baseball. This Teurlings Rebels baseball is brought to you by Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. It'll be 1-2-3 for the Rebels. So Chavis, Power, Deculus will see the plate in this inning. But Scott, to be fair, they need to get to at least Storms in order to keep playing baseball.
Yep.
Chip Artietta, we are told, is the man on the hill. Trip. Chavis takes strike 1.
Chavis on an error, couple ground outs.
Drops a beauty of a bunt. Chavis is going to be safe. There's no catching him on that one as he just dropped that one into the void between the pitcher, the catcher, and the third baseman, and the Rebels had the leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 7th.
That was just picture perfect.
The plate number 7, Will Power.
So Chavis had reached on an error, sacrificed, grounded out, and now has a bunt single. Power has a bunt sacrifice, grounded out, and popped up here this afternoon. That pitch is outside for ball 1. Right down the middle, fastball evens the count at 1-1. Oh,
that came
I
close.
thought that hit Will Power.
Yeah.
I'm shocked Power didn't let it go off of a hip or claim that it hit him. It's inside at the least for ball 2.
Don't they teach him the flop like in
I was about
the
to
NBA?
say. I was waiting on him to go. Oh, and that's called a strike on the outside to even the count. When the Rebels need base runners, you can't have calls like that.
Well, you're just at the 2-hour mark, so.
That's going to be popped up and out of play. Nobody's going to get to that one. Keeps the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner at first, Rebels trail by 4. That's going to be swung at. That's a little trouble grounder. Nobody can field it. Everybody's safe, and Chavis takes off for third. He's going to be safe as nobody's going to catch Chavis when he's got a running start, and the Rebels have runners at the corners and nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Rebels not going down quietly.
And Scott, I think you're going to see a pitching change already. I mean, you almost get a feeling here in Rebels Baseball Stadium that there has been some pressure alleviated, like a momentum shift almost for some reason. And I don't know if it's because Dozat threw such a great game to start, but with Arrieta on the hill, you get Chavis with the bunt. Now you get that just little trouble single, and then the throwing, and then the error towards second. I mean, you're looking at it and going, on 8 pitches, the Rebels have 2 base runners. What, the tying run is on deck now?
All right, Arrieta is staying in there. No, you'd still, tying run is on deck. You know, Arrieta, he hasn't had bad pitches. They were a great bunt. That was a little dribbler right up the middle, the previous pitch. So it's not like he's being rocked, but suddenly you've got Rebels. I think the meeting here was more like strategy. Okay, look.
So that'll bring Deculus to the plate. The 1-0 pitch to Deculus, now 2-0.
2 straight pitches about the same spot, high. Just not getting that breaking ball down.
Wonder if the Rebels can find some 7th inning magic, as that's in for a strike, make it 2-1. That's hit towards second. Got the first out.
Oh,
and the umpire calls him out at second base. Chavis scores. I'm surprised that Brooks did not have a comment about the call at first, because that double play had an ice wagon hooked to it, and somehow the ice wagon got there on time.
Number 19, Brennan Storms.
So Deculus grounds into the double play.
Oh, man.
And the Rebels have basically a game killer.
Deculus beat it by a step.
Yeah, Scott, I'm with you. It looked like Deculus was there easily. Easily. Love to go back and see this on video, because we'll definitely have the angle. That pitch is in for a strike, and it just seems like the home plate umpire now wants to go home.
Well, it's a momentum killer. I mean, you would have had a runner on first.
Well, you would have had 1 out instead of 2. The run would have scored. The runner on first, you're still alive. Now you've got to generate base runners with 2 outs. Rebels now trail 5-2. That ball's popped up. It'll go foul. Nobody will get to it. Keep the count at 2-2.
Except for Aaron's Lexus.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out to Brennan Storms. Rebels trail 5-2. That ball is outside, make it 3-2.
Bless you, Tommy Dean.
So the Rebel third baseman trying to keep the rally alive here with 2 outs. The Rebels need 2-out magic to keep this ball game going, and they need a lot of it. Hit towards third, fielded cleanly. Throw across the infield is not in time, and that's going to be interference on the first baseman, even if they get there. And they're saying, nope, he is awarded second base because the first baseman ran into Brennan Storms on his way to second. So he'll be safe. The Rebels have a base runner, and the Rebels, trailing 5-2, again have the tying run on deck.
Now batting for the Rebels, number 6, Hudson Clavel.
So Rebel defensive or designated hitter Hudson Clavel will step in from the left side. That pitch is in for a strike.
Clavel, a nice single in that first inning.
Couldn't find that one. Makes it 0-2. Rebels are down to their last strike with 2 outs. Trailing 5-2 to Central. Central has out-hit the Rebels 5-4, but Central has 4 errors and only given up 2 runs. And Scott, I might argue that Central's got more errors than that.
Well, both teams will look at this and saying, yeah, our errors have helped keep the Rebels in this game, and the Rebels will say all of our free passes have.
And that ends the ball game. Rebels fall 5-2 to Central, who comes over from Baton Rouge, scores in 1 inning, the 3rd inning, but they drop 5 on the Rebels. The Rebels can only muster 2. We'll come back with our post-game show right after this on the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
Walking in, seeing all the people at the Aspen Clinic makes it so much easier to just get started.
Coming here and having a real person makes the difference.
The accountability is a big thing because it gets you to your goals quicker.
The Aspen Clinic offers more than just GLP-1s because you deserve more than just a prescription.
They would never give me anything that would harm me, and they only want the best for me.
No contracts, no membership fees, just real in-person support.
Don't wait, call the Aspen Clinic today.
In the heart of Lafayette, something strong is growing. We believe in creating opportunity right here, so our young professionals don't have to leave Louisiana to build their future. At Beal & Aber, we're proud to stand up for the people of Acadiana. When you need strong legal representation, whether you're injured in a car wreck, have a construction dispute, you are dealing with a civil matter, or you just need help with estate planning, we're here when it matters most. Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown lawyer.
Rebels fall 5-2 to the Central Wildcats out of Baton Rouge alongside Scott Brazda. I'm Kavan Bordelon. Teurlings Baseball brought to you by Beal & Aber. And I think first we need to say a big thank you to Lance Beal, Kenny Aber for making the 5-game series that we have put on YouTube possible.
Wouldn't happen without those guys at all, and we appreciate it. I mean, we say it all the time. These, for-profit entities, they don't have to be doing these kinds of things, but they get it. They get if they help build a better community, it's good business for them, and certainly that's sort of the Lord's mission, right?
Absolutely, it is. Rebels fall 5-2. Scott, the story of this game: Central managed 1 inning where they scored runs, and they scored 5 on free passes.
Yeah, walks, hit batsmen. That's the kind of thing that Brooks Batter will tell you. You got to clean these kinds of things up. Jay Coove's here.
If there is one story from this game that you look at with the Rebels, offensively, number one, they mounted 2 runs, which is uncharacteristic for them. Defensively, to your point, it's free passes, hit batsmen. The Rebels had at least 10 free bases this afternoon.
Yeah, I didn't have any errors, but the walks, the hit batsmen, those kind of things you've got to clean up against a good baseball team. They'll make you pay.
Rebels now have a couple of games left before they start thinking about the playoffs. Rebels in the power rankings are still third in Division II because they have played a whale of a schedule.
Been a monster schedule. I mean, as early as Notre Dame and Acadiana to begin the year. And so, you know, Brooks Battles really stacked this schedule with good opponents. And it'll pay off. Today, you know, you can't give a good opponent free passes.
Be interesting to see where the seeding lies. Rebels want to stay in the top 4 in that seeding because the top 4, they get that bye.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see where the Rebels go, what it looks like on their way, hopefully to another trip to Sulphur, Louisiana. We will let you know where we will be and when we will be there because that is what we do here at the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network.
You got it. And Rebels will battle Barb next week, and I think that's the season finale, regular season finale.
Be interesting to see if you want to find us on our Facebook page. If you want to be part of a playoff run, let us know. You can find us on Teurlings Catholic Football Radio Network. Like I said, we can't change the name, but you can reach out to us there. You can message us, and if you'd like to be a part of the broadcasts, we can absolutely make that happen as we try to bring you the best of Teurlings Catholic High. Parting thoughts, Scott?
Big thank you to Aaron for helping us do this. We appreciate it. It's just been a seamless, beautiful 5-game stretch, and look forward to doing more.
Looking forward to it as well. That's going to do it for the Teurlings Catholic Sports Network this afternoon. Rebels fall 5-2, but they have a rest of the season ahead of them. So remember, don't do what's easy. Do what's